Hello everyone, this is Highlander, and we're doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review. This is another card by cadstar369, part of his cycle of 4 mana cards that are 4 different colors, except so they're missing one. This one here, and they're all modal, I believe. I haven't looked at all of them yet, but this one's called Glimmer of Chaos. This is blue, black, red, green, so not white. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Um, So let's take a look at the what we got here. So sorcery, modal, choose two. Exchange control of 2 target permanents. Okay, I could see that being pretty fun in Commander. Like you can, I mean, most of the time you're going to exchange control of like a crappy creature you have and a creature that they have. Um, but I guess you could do some goofy things with exchanging control for two other players. So that's fine. That'll maybe happen like 5% of the time. Exile target creature or planeswalker. I mean, okay, that's good. I assume that's the black mode of this, right? So exchange control would be blue. The black mode is exile. Switch each creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Okay. Okay, well that's maybe the blue then, or these are both blue. Switch each creature's power and toughness until end of turn. That seems rarely useful, but I mean, sometimes it can be good. I mean, it's good against like walls or anything with 0 power. Other than that, I mean, it's very like specific, which is fine. I mean, it's a modal card, that's fine. Not every mode has to be super useful. Until end of turn, lands you control gain tap, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Okay, so you can ramp pretty hard. Okay, I mean, this one I like more than Thorns of Altruism. I'll tell you that right now. Um, I didn't I didn't give Thorns of Altruism the same look. Well, so here's what I'm thinking, right? And I didn't think about this when I was looking at Thorns of Altruism, but whoop, sorry about that. I thought I was on streamer mode. No, stop. Exit. Exit Discord. Where are you? Okay. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a red mode really on here, right? I mean, exchange control and switch each creature. These are both blue effects. This is a black effect, and this is a green effect. So, I mean, usually with these modal cards, that's kind of how they work, right? It's like, okay, a blue effect, a black effect, a red effect, a green effect. But there's no red effect here, really. So, yeah, that kind of bothers me a little bit, I guess. Because otherwise, there's like no reason to make this card red, right? This could just be a black, blue, green Sultai card. Um, okay, that being said, I do like this card better than Thorns of Altruism. I mean, this mode by itself is great, right? Just exiling a creature or planeswalker, love it, right? This version's pretty specific. Again, I said that's fine for a modal card. I don't see it doing much, but maybe sometimes, sometimes this will do something. Exchanging control of 2 target permanents, also good. I like that it doesn't just like give you like you don't just get to take something for free, because otherwise this card would be like super busted. But that's cool, and I like that it's you can kind of do some silly shenanigans if you're a commander player. And until end of turn, lands you control gain add 2 mana. This one, I mean, this one's really only good if you have tons of mana, and I guess in commander you do end up with tons of mana. So like sometimes I guess you can like exile a creature, ramp yourself up a bunch. Okay, how much mana do you have to make this worth it, right? If you pay, so you're paying 4, so you would need 6 mana to break even. Well, 6 mana will give you another 4 mana. 7 mana, another 6 mana, 8 mana, another. Yeah, okay. So I mean that once you get up there, that's definitely powerful. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say probably the most common cases are going to be like. So you're probably almost always going to choose exile creature planeswalker, right? Because this is like just the most useful ability. Exchange your control of 2 permanents also very useful if you have. Oh, you know what? This is also not 2 permanents of the same type. I just realized that. So you could literally give them one of your tapped lands and take their like planeswalker or something. That's very powerful. This card is very powerful. This is way better than Thorns of Altruism. Thorns of Altruism is like bad for you to cast. This one actually gives you really powerful effects. Um, in fact, I think that's a little bit too powerful. I think the permanents that you exchange should be of the same type, because otherwise, I mean, I mean, you're getting like a 3-for-1 here. Like you're exiling something. I guess it's not technically a 3-for-1, but you're like exiling something and taking one of their permanents, and you basically give them your worst possible permanent. So that's either a land or like a 1/1 token or something like that. You know, treasure token, whatever. Um, yeah, this is really powerful. I think this might be a little bit too powerful. Like the ramp is also really strong. Now that I think about it, so yeah, I mean, you know, all modal cards, and it's hard to make a modal card that feels like super unique, right? Because by definition, you just have you're just kind of throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall, right? You're like, here's a bunch of choices, go ahead and pick one, and it's hard to really like make a unique one. But what I'd really like to see in a modal card is having modes that like are kind of interesting in different combinations, if that makes sense. So like if you think about like Cryptic Command, let's take a look at Cryptic Command. So Cryptic Command, counter a spell, draw a card. I mean, that's usually the base mode, right? But you can also counter spell, return something. Counter spell, tap. Draw tap. Return tap, right? And all of these different modes make the card like you have a lot of interesting options with this card. I mean, it's not the best example of this probably, um, because like I mean, are you ever going to tap all your creatures and return a permanent? Rarely, probably. Draw a card is probably almost always going to be on this one. So this maybe isn't the best example, but still, there's a lot of different potential options. This one, like the switch power and toughness, might as well not be there. It I would love to see this replaced with some kind of like a red effect, like like Chaos Warp something, for example. Glimmer of Chaos. Is that the right name of that card? Chaos Warp. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, something like that. Like, but then again, I mean, would you would you ever actually use that over these two modes? Like, I feel like most of the time, if you're at 4 mana, you're going to use these two modes. If you're at like 8 mana or 7 mana, you're probably gonna, as long as you have like cards in hand, you're gonna be ramping and doing one of these two modes here. So this is just a lot of powerful things and one thing that's like not powerful at all, um, and also not red. So those are kind of mainly my two issues here. Is um, the third mode not being red bothers me, and this card feels a little bit. This card feels a little bit strong to me. I really think that this should say 2 permanents of the same type. So like you can't just like give them a land and take their planeswalker or something. Um, because the fact that a card is modal is already like a huge benefit, right? I mean, the flexibility benefit is large. Now, I understand that this is a 4-color card, right? So by definition, you get to be pretty powerful, but I do think that would make this card quite a bit more fair. Um, So yeah, anyway, I'll give Glimmer of Chaos a 3 out of 5. I do like this card a lot better than Thorns of Altruism. And yeah, that's my review, and we'll be looking at the next one here shortly.